What is up, Bucs Nation? Welcome back to another reaction. Our Tampa Bay Buccaneers won a win now game against the Atlanta Falcons, and it was not a pretty win at all. And I'm going to talk about some of those issues because there's definitely some trends and things that I've noticed that are definitely impacting this team. But before I jump into my reaction, I am Ramy B. I post weekly Buccaneer reaction videos, so if you are new here, make sure you click the subscribe button down below and stay up to date with all of my reactions. So, our Tampa Bay Buccaneers won a 21-15 game that was way closer than the score indicated. This was a game where we were looking to get back on track after kind of the first 2 weeks without having our weapons, and then the Chiefs, falling behind. And I would say it's not a pretty one. I am a firm believer that this team is not a good team. Currently, we are not a good football team. Even when we are healthy or not healthy, we are not good. We do not look good. We are not operating as well as we have been in the past couple of years. Even last year with all the injuries on defense, we found a way to still win games. Our offense was still moving. When we had injuries on offense, we were still able to score points and all of that. And it seems like, that's not the case. But our Buccaneers had 420 yards of total offense, 351 passing, which is our strength, and I'm glad that we keep doing it. 69 yards rushing, much better than we did last week when we had 3 yards. The Falcons had 261 total yards, which is 110 passing and 151 rushing. This is the second straight game where we've given up 150 yards rushing. I believe that we really need Ndamukong Suh. When him and Vita Vea were in the middle, nobody could run on us. And since he's left, we've struggled. Sure, we stopped the run against the Packers, and we stopped the run against the Saints. And who was the first week that we played? The Cowboys as well. But these last 2 weeks, with the injury to Akeem Hicks, it seems like our D-line and our linebackers, I don't know what it is. Teams are able to run the ball down our throats. I think offensively, even though we did pass, I still think we have a lot of problems on offense. Last week, okay, I've been saying I think Bruce Arians had more of a hand in the offense than, people on Twitter are saying. People have been coming at me saying that that's not true, but I think he has, because there's no coincidence that once Arians came in, even under Jameis Winston, we averaging like 29 points a game, and then with Brady over the last 2 years, we were averaging over 30 points a game. Arians leaves, Bowles takes over, and then we're still having trouble moving the ball. Last week against the Chiefs, we only started really focusing on passing once we were down 21-3 and had to. We started the game off running. Sure, that's fine. We were a little bit effective. But again, we went up 21-0, and then we stopped running the ball and we kept passing. And I think that Byron Leftwich, and probably, I would say Byron Leftwich mostly, but I think Bowles also kind of tells him what kind of things he's looking for. I think Byron Leftwich lacks creativity and cannot feel the game out. When we're down, he keeps trying to run. We're up 21-0. Sure, running is not always going to be effective. Run, mix in some, play action passes as well. It seemed, we had 3 and outs where we gave up like 40 seconds of play clock each time. Why are we not running play action? It's like we run on first down, we get stopped, so it's like pass, and then incompletions. I don't know, I just think that Byron Leftwich has a really bad feel for the game and doesn't really know how to feel it out. Our last drive, which ended up with the kneeling, we ended up being bailed out by that, We were supposed to have a defensive pass interference on Scotty Miller. We did not, and then it seems like it was a makeup call with the, sorry, my cat is coming up. Sorry, he bumped into the camera and probably messed up the angle a little bit. But we got bailed out by that roughing the passer call, and that was not a roughing the passer call. But anyways, let me get into more specific stats. Brady was 35 of 52 for 351 yards and a touchdown. No problems with his game. This seemed like a game where he was a little inaccurate. Some almost picked off balls, some pickable balls that hit defenders, but overall played well. Leonard Fournette, 14 carries for 56 yards and a touchdown. Rachaad White, 5 for 14. It's good to see Rachaad White have better vision. Leonard Fournette on that stupid 4th down call, instead of putting his head down and running, was trying to find a hole. Ridiculous. On the receiving end, Leonard Fournette led us with 10 catches for 83 yards and a touchdown. Evans was 4 of 81. Godwin, 6 for 61. Scooter finally made an appearance, 4 catches for 35 yards, his best game of the season. It's only 35 yards, it's not that great. And then Cade Otton, I wanted to highlight him last, 6 catches for 43 yards. Not a game-breaking kind of day, but it's good to see that he has reliable hands, and I don't know if he even dropped the pass at all. Seems like he's way more reliable than Cameron Brate. I want to see him get more touches than he has been. He's not going to be a Gronk and break away and change the game, but he's going to be a good security blanket for Brady, and he did have some difficult looking catches. Defensively, we held Mariota 14 completions of 25 attempts for 147 yards and a touchdown. Their run game, 7 rushes for 61 yards with Mariota. Algier, 13 for 45. Huntley for 8 for 34. And Avery Williams, 3 for 11 and a touchdown. On the receiving end, Zacchaeus had 2 catches for 39 yards and a touchdown. He was their leading receiver. Drake London, I think his name was Drake. Drake London had 4 for 35 and Hodge 3 for 33. Nobody else had over 30 yards of receiving. Again, he had 147. We did well in the secondary end, even though we had injuries. Carlton Davis was out, Mark Edwards left, and Sean Murphy-Bunting was out as well, which is kind of concerning. Hopefully, you know, our defense gets healthier. I think Logan Ryan hopefully will be back. Carlton Davis, I don't know how severe the injury is. But Winfield led our team with 8 tackles. He had a sack, forced fumble that somehow bounced right back into Mariota's hands. Sinat had 1 sack. Logan Hall had a sack, Joe Tryon-Shrinka had a sack, and Vita Vea had a sack. So 5-sack day overall. We did not get any turnovers. Again, we had that forced fumble, but we didn't recover it. But yeah, our defense, I don't know what to say. First 3 weeks played, you know, they're played out of their minds. Great defensively. Chiefs came in. Sure, Chiefs are a great offense, caught us on a bad day. I don't know how to feel about this. The Falcons run the ball, and they ran it effectively down our throats, getting good chunks. I think that if their last scoring drive, when they went for the 2-point conversion to kind of set it up that way, had they not milked so much time off the clock with all the runs, I think they probably would have beat us. They would have gotten another shot. But our defense secondary played fine. I mean, you know, if you're giving up 140 yards for the entire game, you know, on the receiving end, then that's a great game overall. But the run defense, something has to change. I don't know what it is, if we're not, you know, sticking to our gaps or what it is, but teams are running the ball against us effectively. Chiefs are not even a running team, and they ran for 89 yards. The Falcons are a rushing team and ran for 150. I'm starting to feel or believe that future opponents will start running the ball down our throats, knowing that we are giving up big chunks and they can break off a couple of big chunks and change the game. So something has to change on the defensive end. I feel overall that the team, like I said, is not a good team. I don't know what's going on, but the offense just seems discombobulated. Like, Brady doesn't seem as confident back there. I don't know what it is. The offense just seems off. Like, the yards we're getting are really hard-fought yards. Like, the last 2 seasons, they seem like effortless. Like, Brady knew where to go. We were catching the ball, moving the ball, no problem. This year, it feels like we're really trying to force it, and just something seems off. Again, I don't know if Bowles is trying to change, you know, I feel like we're not attacking the deep ball as much as we were before. But I don't have numbers on that. It just seems like we're not taking shots like we used to, and it's a lot of shorter passes. And I don't know, again, if that's Bowles saying, hey, I don't want the no risk it, no biscuit unless we're down big. I want us to play it safe. But again, we're a team that was built and succeeds when that threat of a deep ball is there. So I think things have to change. I don't know what it is. We're playing the Steelers next week, who got blown out by the Bills. We're playing in Pittsburgh. We've been fine on the road. I'm not worried about them. I think the week after that, we play the Ravens, I want to say it is, which will be, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we play the Panthers and then the Ravens. Panthers we should be able to beat, but we're going to have some good teams coming up, the Ravens and the Rams after that, and we have to figure out something offensively. If we're scoring 21 points a game or less, we're not going to win many games, especially when our defense has given up so many rush yards. But in the event of not making this video long, comment Bucs fans down below. Are you concerned about the rush defense? Because 1 game is a fluke, 2 games is starting to look like a trend, and we'll see what happens next week with the Steelers. But if they're able to knock off 120 yards on us, rushing 130, then definitely cause for concern. But yeah, good win, I guess. A win is a win. We're 3-2. We lead the division. We got, you know, we're 2-0 in the division. We have a tiebreaker over the Falcons right now and over the Saints. Great, but we don't look good, and there's things that have to change, and we're, you know, it's gonna be a long season, and it's gonna be a tough season. I hope they do figure out what's going on. Maybe Bruce Arians needs to be a consultant, and they need to bring him in and be like, hey, what are some things you notice that we need to change? But something has to change. But anyways, yeah, Bucs Nation, thank you for tuning in, and as always, I am out. Let's go!